It started with a wrong turn, one of those small, forgettable moments you don't think twice about. But for Malik Jordan, that wrong turn would flip his entire life upside down. It was just past 10 p.m. on a rainy Thursday night. Malik had stayed late at his tech job in downtown Atlanta, finishing up a project for a banking client. He loved his work. Clean code, clean life. He'd finally landed the promotion he'd worked years for. That night, he was feeling good, exhausted, but good. He pulled out of the office parking garage in his black Tesla Model 3 and turned onto Peachtree Street, the wipers squeaking across the glass. His GPS told him to take the I-75 ramp northbound. But as he passed the turn, he saw flashing construction signs, detour ahead, so he kept driving, figuring he'd loop around the block. That's when he saw the blue and red lights behind him. At first, he thought it had nothing to do with him. He glanced in the rearview mirror, expecting the cruiser to speed past. But the lights stayed right on him. Malik's stomach tightened. He pulled into a gas station parking lot and rolled down his window. The officer didn't get out at first. Just sat there, headlights burning into Malik's mirrors. Finally, the door opened. A tall, broad white man in his late 40s stepped out, hand resting on a holster at his hip. The name tag on his chest read Kincaid. License and registration, he barked without a greeting. Malik kept his hands on the wheel, fingers clearly visible. Yes, sir. My license is in my wallet, back right pocket. Registration's in the glove box. I want to reach for them, okay? Kincaid's eyes narrowed. Just do it. Slowly. Malik did exactly that. No sudden moves, no attitude. Just calm, respectful motions. But Kincaid's hands stayed close to his weapon the entire time. Where are you headed? Kincaid asked, flipping Malik's license in his hand like it was fake. Home, Malik replied. Took a wrong turn. GPS was rerouting me. Kincaid stared at him for a long second. Mind stepping out of the vehicle? Malik hesitated. Is there a reason, officer? You resisting? No, sir. Just asking. Oh, now. Malik's heart thudded as he stepped into the rain. It soaked through his hoodie instantly. Kincaid made him face the car, spread his legs, and patted him down. You fit the description of a suspect, the cop muttered. Malik didn't argue. He didn't ask what the description was. He just stood there, arms out, watching puddles form around his sneakers. Kincaid walked back to the cruiser with Malik's ID. 10 minutes passed, then 20. A second police car pulled up. A younger officer stepped out, talking into his radio. Kincaid joined him. They spoke in hushed tones, occasionally glancing Malik's way. Malik felt like a criminal in a crime show, just waiting for the cameras to roll. He started to get nervous. Really nervous. Then the young officer walked up. We're going to need to search your vehicle. Malik frowned. On what grounds? We've got probable cause, the young cop said. Just step to the side. Malik's mouth opened, but nothing came out. He knew the drill. Knew that saying the wrong thing could escalate things fast. So he watched, silent, as they opened his doors, rifled through his backpack, dumped out his gym bag, pulled open every compartment. And then something happened that made his stomach drop. Officer Kincaid stepped back from the passenger side, holding a small plastic bag filled with white powder. What the hell is this? He said, loud enough for the other officer to hear. Malik's eyes widened. That's not mine. I swear to God, I don't know what that is. Kincaid looked at him like he'd heard it all before. Oh. The cuffs were on before Malik could say another word. Cold steel against wet wrists. You have the right to remain silent. Malik wasn't silent. This is a mistake. I don't do drugs. I work in IT. Call my boss. Check the car cameras. But Kincaid wasn't listening. Neither of them were. And as Malik sat in the back of that squad car, rain streaking down the windows, all he could think was, this is how it begins. Not with a headline, not with a protest, but with a wrong turn and a planted bag of powder. The jail cell was colder than Malik expected. Cement bench, metal toilet in the corner, fluorescent lights that buzzed like angry wasps, and a smell like sweat, bleach, and something worse underneath. He sat there in silence, wrists sore from the cuffs, hoodie still damp from the rain. No phone call yet. No answers. Just questions piling up in his head like a traffic jam. How did that bag get in my car? What if nobody believes me? What if this ruins everything? He never even touched a drug in his life. Grew up in a strict household, his mom a nurse, his dad a history teacher. They didn't play games. College, career, clean living. That was the Jordan family blueprint. So when Officer Kincaid dropped that little bag on the hood of his Tesla, like it was Exhibit A in a crime documentary, Malik knew something was off. But what could he do now? A heavy door buzzed, then opened. A deputy stepped in and called his name. Jordan, let's go. Malik stood up. Where am I going? Your arraignment. Judge wants to see you tonight. He was led down a hallway, then into a small courtroom with peeling paint and a single tired-looking judge. No jury, no public. Just him, two officers, and a public defender who didn't even make eye contact. The prosecutor read out the charges, possession with intent to distribute. Malik's knees went weak. The judge scanned a sheet of paper. Bail is set at $50,000. Wait, what? Malik blinked. I didn't. Save it, the public defender mumbled. We'll deal with it later. He barely heard anything after that. He was fingerprinted, photographed, and taken back to the cell. The door slammed behind him with a sound that stuck in his ears. It didn't just sound like metal. It sounded like a life shutting down. The next morning, he finally got his phone call. He dialed his sister, Nia. Malik. Her voice cracked with panic. Where are you? What happened? I'm in county, he said, voice low. They say they found drugs in my car. I didn't, Nia, I swear, I didn't do anything. I know you didn't, she said without hesitation. I'm coming. I'll get a lawyer. You're getting out of there. He closed his eyes. Just hearing her voice helped. For the first time in 12 hours, he felt a flicker of hope. By noon, Nia had posted bail. Malik walked out with a paper bag of his things and a court date stamped on a yellow slip. She hugged him tight in the parking lot. You okay? She whispered. He nodded, but he wasn't. Because even outside, Malik felt trapped. The air didn't feel free. It felt like it was waiting to suffocate him again. And it got worse when he opened his phone. 20 missed calls. 47 messages. His job. His co-workers. His boss. Even some friends. But one notification hit harder than all the rest. Breaking, local man arrested for possession in Midtown. Caught with drugs during routine traffic stop. Right there, his name. His face. His Tesla. Spinning on every local news station like a warning sign. He hadn't even been home yet, and already his reputation was in shreds. I need to prove this was planted, he said to Nia in the car. I didn't do anything, Nia. I swear to you. That cop, he looked at me like I was guilty before he even asked my name. Nia gripped the wheel. Then we fight. We find out what really happened. We don't let them bury you. Malik nodded. But in the pit of his stomach, he knew it wasn't that simple. Because when the system wants you to be guilty, even the truth needs a lawyer just to speak. And Officer Kincaid? He wasn't done. He had a past. A pattern. And Malik was about to find out he wasn't the first. Malik didn't sleep much that night. He couldn't. He lay in bed, staring at the ceiling fan as it spun in slow, creaky circles, trying to piece together how everything fell apart so fast. One day, he was running code reviews. The next, he was fighting for his name. The worst part? His job had already suspended him pending investigation. HR used the softest words to deliver the hardest hit. They told him to take care of things, and they revisit his employment status in the coming weeks. Translation. He was out. And just like that, 7 years of loyalty meant nothing. By the next morning, Malik was glued to his laptop, digging for anything that could explain what Officer Kincaid had done. If that bag of powder didn't belong to him, where did it come from? And then he found something. An old Reddit thread. Buried deep. Title, anyone else had issues with Officer Kincaid in Atlanta? At first, Malik thought it was just another rant. But the post had dozens of comments, all black men. Different names. Different neighborhoods. But the same story. Pulled over for no reason. Asked to step out. Then, boom, drugs appeared. Charges dropped later, but my life was already wrecked. Malik's hand started shaking. His heart kicked into overdrive. This wasn't just about him. It was a pattern. He took screenshots of everything. Names, dates, user handles. Some people had deleted their accounts. Others were still active. He sent private messages to anyone who might respond. And sure enough, one did. A guy named Darius Monroe, mid-30s, former delivery driver. He replied with a phone number. Malik called immediately. "Yo, you're the guy who just got arrested last week, right?" Darius said. "I saw it on the news." "That's me," Malik said. "They planted something in my car." Darius let out a humorless laugh. "Yeah, that's Kincaid's specialty. You dealt with him too? 3 years ago. Same corner. Same routine. I spent 6 months fighting charges before the DA finally dropped the case. But my job? Gone. Apartment? Evicted. Girlfriend? Left me. They let me go, but the damage was permanent." Malik was silent for a moment. "Did you ever try to report it?" "To who?" Darius snapped. "The same people who backed him up." "I tried. Internal Affairs looked at me like I was dirt. Didn't go anywhere." Malik swallowed. "Would you be willing to talk to a lawyer? Go public?" Darius paused. Then, "If it helps take him down." "Yeah. Hell yeah." Later that day, Malik and Nia sat in a clean, modern office across from a woman named Tasha Glenn, a civil rights attorney with a sharp tone and sharper eyes. She'd already heard of Officer Kincaid, and she didn't look surprised when Malik told his story. "This isn't the first complaint I've heard about that man," she said, flipping open a folder. "But it's the first time someone with your background, clean record, visible career, community ties is willing to go the distance. That matters in court." "You're saying they might actually believe me?" Malik asked. "I'm saying we can build a case," she replied. "If we get those other men to speak. If we pull body cam footage. If we push for records." Kincaid has slipped through cracks for years. But cracks widen. Malik exhaled. It was the first time since the arrest he felt like he had a sliver of control. "I want to go all the way," he said. "Not just to clear my name, but for everyone he's done this to." Tasha nodded. "Then we go to war. But war has consequences." That night, Malik's phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. "You're making a mistake." Another one followed seconds later. "Drop it or you'll regret it." Malik froze. He looked out the window. Across the street, a black sedan idled with its headlights off. He didn't recognize the car. And in that moment, a terrible question crept into his mind. What if this isn't just about crooked cops anymore? What if Kincaid isn't working alone? Malik didn't sleep at all that night. He sat by the window, lights off, phone in hand, watching that black sedan across the street. It didn't move for hours. Just sat there, quiet. No lights, no engine noise. Like it was there to be seen, not hidden. By 3 a.m., it was gone. But the message was loud and clear. Someone was watching. The next morning, Malik met again with Attorney Glenn. Her office was calm, sterile, too clean for the chaos boiling outside. He showed her the texts. She read them once, then again. No reaction on her face. "This is intimidation," she said flatly. "Meant to scare you into silence. Don't let it work." Malik leaned forward. "Do you think it's him?" "Kincaid." She nodded slowly. "If it's not him directly, it's someone in his circle. You're a problem now. A big one. He's used to walking away clean. You're not letting him. Can we report it?" "We will. But don't expect much. These kinds of messages are hard to trace unless they're dumb enough to leave a fingerprint." Malik sighed. "So we just wait until they try something worse?" "No," she said, locking eyes with him. "We prepare." Over the next few days, things moved fast. Attorney Glenn subpoenaed Kincaid's body cam footage from the night of the arrest. At first, the department stalled. Then they claimed the footage was corrupted. Convenient. She also requested his personnel file, looking for patterns, complaints, red flags. And slowly, the truth began to emerge. 9 internal complaints in 11 years. 5 use-of-force incidents. 2 drug arrests with lost evidence. In every single case, dismissed, cleared, buried. "He's protected," Glenn muttered, spreading the documents across her desk. "There's someone inside keeping his record clean." "Like who?" Could be a superior, a union rep, maybe even a DA. But if this goes deeper, we have to assume more than one person's involved. Malik shook his head. I was just trying to get home. That's all I did. Took a wrong turn. And now, Glenn said, you're about to blow a hole through a system that's been broken for years. But while they built their case, the pressure outside kept rising. First, someone broke into Malik's car. Nothing was taken. Nothing was damaged. But the glove box, the one they'd searched that night, was left wide open. Then, a week later, Nia's tires were slashed. All four. Middle of the day. She didn't tell Malik right away. Didn't want to distract him. But when she finally admitted it, his hands went cold. They're not just trying to scare me, he said. They're trying to make me stop. Through the people I care about. Nia looked him dead in the eye. Then they picked the wrong family. By the end of the second week, they had something solid. A man named Andre Tate, formerly with Internal Affairs, reached out to Glenn through an encrypted email.